I originally grew up in a very, very small conservative town with less than 5,000 people. And it was an environment where it was predominantly Christian, bread and butter, white Christianity. And I didn't know anybody that wasn't religious. It wasn't until middle school even, not just not religious, but not Christian. So it wasn't until middle school that my best friend had informed me. He was obsessed with Madonna. He had informed me that he was Kabbalist. And I'm thinking, what's Kabbalah? Oh, well, it's Jewish mysticism. Well, what are you talking about? The Jews aren't around anymore. Jesus came back. And as ridiculous as that sounds, that I actually thought that, I genuinely didn't know that Jews existed. I thought that they were gone. That was it. So I studied world religions and eventually kind of practiced different religions and worked my way down to atheism. But even then I didn't call myself an atheist for a long time because a friend of mine that I grew up with, I told her I was an atheist once, and she thought that that automatically meant that I worshiped the devil. So that's kind of motivated me to come out, because I want people to know that it's okay to be an atheist. Just because I don't believe in some supreme being or higher power, it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. That I want people to realize that, we're good people, just not God people. In my kind of coming out as an atheist and coming to terms that that's what I was, I realized that I wasn't necessarily tied to any certain set of moral codes. So the one big thing that I did was denying the Holy Spirit. And the second that I realized that, hey, this is the one-way ticket to hell, it was like a weight had been lifted off my chest. I'm like, nobody is striking me down with lightning. I'm free to think for myself, to make my own decisions, and things that I very much disagree with. For example, homosexuality is wrong, where many people would point to insert holy book here. Now I can make those decisions based on the evidence around me, and to not have to stick to some holy text or preset law. We're actually thinking critically about it, and I think that that's better for humanity in the long run. I know myself coming from a very conservative religious community and not knowing any atheists for a long time. Even when I moved to Columbus, Ohio, which is a pretty big city, I didn't realize that there were like-minded people. But once I slowly got comfortable with the idea of being atheist, first I came out online, not on Facebook, but I got involved in online discussions, and then eventually would start talking to my closest friends, and then my family, and then maybe my acquaintances, and then lastly my coworkers. Coming out at first seemed really, really hard, just because I didn't know anybody. But once you start talking to people, you realize that you really aren't alone, and there are other people out there. There are plenty of resources that you can go to if you're a student, and you even want to start your own atheist group. You can get a hold of the Secular Student Alliance, and in high school, you can start a high school group, or if you're starting out in college and there's not a secular group, you can network there. But Secular Student Alliance isn't the only organization. There are tons of other national organizations out there that are willing to help you out. Tons of blogs, from friendlyatheist.com to Black Hag, and I even do YouTube video blogging as Healthy Addict, and there are tons of video resources where people talk about these things. So please, I know it's hard, but don't be afraid to come out. There are plenty of organizations and resources for you out there. And we really need to show people that, hey, I'm an atheist, I'm proud of who I am, I'm a human being. There are others out there just like me. We need to put a face to atheism and show that we are human people too, and we're good people, just not God people. So we are atheism.